and that's not transforming. RIP! Okay, looks like they've turned off Zorua.
How's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. Hope you're having a good day, and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. Alright, so yesterday was supposed to be the release of a long-anticipated Pokemon Zorua, and it seems like Niantic had full intentions to make it a unique and cool experience when catching it. Well, in true Niantic fashion, things didn't go according to plan, and a bunch of issues and bugs caused this release to get temporarily postponed. I'm seriously questioning at this point whether or not Niantic are even playtesting their game, because this is just one of a whole slew of issues that the game has been having. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Real quick, let's pour one out for the players in New Zealand and Fiji. As per the course, for any Niantic update or feature, the folks in these regions had to be the reluctant guinea pigs once again. Yesterday, during Shuppet Spotlight Hour, Niantic intended to do a surprise debut of the Pokémon Zorua. This is a Pokemon that a lot of players weren't anticipating, and it was a great opportunity for Niantic to spice up Pokemon Go with a new unique mechanic. This is because Zorua has a distinct characteristic of creating illusions that make it look like another Pokemon or even people. Well, as this Pokemon was rolling out in the Asia-Pacific region, a lot of issues started to crop up. The way Niantic had it set up was that for the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of Shuppet Spotlight Hour, you would instead see a whole bunch of your buddy Pokemon spawn into the game world. However, these would not be copies of your buddy. They would actually be Zorua in disguise. Now, what ended up happening was that all of the Zorua that you caught would actually have the stats and moves of your buddy Pokemon, rather than the default stats and moves that it was supposed to come with. This would be game breaking if it was kept the way it was, giving Zorua various moves that typically wouldn't be available to it, and giving it stats that would be much higher or lower than the baseline. That would be insane for PvP or gym battles. Niantic reacted quickly to this issue by disabling Zorua temporarily for every other region. This was confirmed by Niantic themselves on social media, and the folks in the later regions, like Australia, reported that Zorua were in fact not appearing. At this point, I question whether Niantic is even playtesting their game. I feel like a lot of these issues would have been caught immediately if they were put through generic QA. I don't know if they have in-house testers or if they outsource, but it's getting kind of ridiculous just how many issues end up in the game. I think the solution for this is simple. Niantic needs to hire a dedicated in-house quality assurance team. It should be a non-starter. I used to work for an indie game studio here in Chicago, and I started off as part of their QA team. Some of the projects that I worked on were console games, PC ports, and mobile games for major IPs like Saints Row and Mortal Kombat. I have experience in this field, and I know the value of quality assurance for a game. Like seriously, having a dedicated QA team could be the difference maker between a broken game and a solid release candidate. It frustrates me to no end just how easily reproducible so many of the issues are in Pokemon Go. There really is no excuse for how they make it into the live game. Aside from the lag and server issues within the Go Battle League, there are often issues with the UI, gameplay, and progression. One super annoying bug that I've recently observed is how the game world will get extremely dark whenever you check a Rocket Radar or Super Rocket Radar. This issue is easily reproducible in the current build, and it's something that's persisted over the last couple updates. The game honestly feels like it is still in beta, as bugs and issues consistently appear with every update. Each bug that they fix, several more crop up in their place. Niantic is developing this reputation that they are incompetent and unskilled developers, which I know for a fact they are totally not. But I do think Niantic is fully capable of at least catching most of these bugs, and they have full capabilities to delay the release of certain features if they have to. And when it comes to issues like the one for Zorua, it could be as simple as a misplaced or misspelled line of code. It's just a matter of whether or not someone catches it before it gets released. I mean, come on Niantic, we really need to stop relying on New Zealanders to be test subjects. Polish up the game and the features you release so that people don't think of you so negatively. Honestly, I'm really disappointed this Zorua issue happened. This could have been a really cool opportunity for Pokemon Go, but things just didn't work out because Niantic failed to catch this bug. Hopefully some lessons were learned and Niantic gets their act together. Then again, how many times have we hoped for that with this company? This isn't even the only bug-filled feature this month. We also saw the introduction of Elite Raids a couple weeks ago, and that feature was also a buggy mess. These issues just compound all of the negative sentiments that the community has had towards this game, so if things don't get better, then I just don't know what that will mean for the game as a whole. We are getting a bunch of new features and mechanics really soon. We should keep an eye out on how these new features get implemented. As a community, we should be vocal about how much we want this game to be polished. I'm hoping Niantic improves on this front so that the game is in a much better place in 2023. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Now, I would love to know your thoughts. What issues have you come across lately that you want Niantic to fix? And what do you think about this whole Zorua debacle? Let me know down below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then be sure to check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way, like with remote raids, then do consider becoming a patron on my Patreon. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.